yeah, like there, which I'll just let the jib off, yeah, and she comes up a bit. Yes, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. I'm in the middle of Vasiliki Bay, Hobie 16, somewhere between 16 and 20 knots of wind, and I've got no rudders. In fact, I'm going backwards downwind at an alarming rate at the moment. So we're gonna see, can we sail upwind and downwind without any rudders in this sort of wind? So to start with, I've got no downhaul on, because what I want is as little power from the main sheet as possible. All right, so I've got the jib cranked in tight, main is loose, but I want to bring it up towards the wind a bit. So I'm just going to tease the main sheet in. So I'm just having the jib in tight as a standard. Okay, too much main sheet. We've headed up too much. So just loosening the traveller and the main sheet together. We can see the boat's turning off the wind a little bit. I can tell you we're not going to go anywhere fast like this. Okay, and just trying to maintain this course, which I'd say is a kind of close reach course. If you look at the mainsail, you can see it's only the leachiest bit of the leach which is doing anything, because if the mainsail catches, that just pulls us head to wind straight away, which is going to stop us in our tracks. So every time it looks like we're heading up too much, I'm just easing the main sheet and the traveller. More the traveller, I've already got the main sheet set out a decent amount, just stalling there a little bit. I think we've gone on enough on this tack. So first challenge, can we tack? All right, so I'm going to pull the main sheet in, traveller into the middle, boat's heading up. All right, now I'm going to bring the main sheet in. That's going to get us right up, ready to uncleat the jib. Can we get the jib to back? Yes, we can. Jib's backed. That means it's a done deal. No need to grab the rudders, but what we do need to do is get the boat off the wind. There we go, boat is off the wind. Get the jib in tight, quick, to get it going forwards again. Main sheet is as loose as it will go. And again, we're all about the main sheet and the traveller to maintain this course. All right, traveller out a little bit. In fact, I'm going to cleat the main sheet there. We're doing this all on the traveller. I'm quite pleased, to be honest, with how that tack went. We'll of course be doing some more tacks. So really, mainsail is not doing very much at all. We're just getting a little bit of drive off that centre orange bit of the leach. But we are making some progress to windward. No rudders, so it can be done. Now, if it was just your rudder cams broken, you could still have some rudder down, so you'll have a bit of proper steering. But this would be more of a scenario where your rudders have come off completely, or you've snapped both rudder blades, which would be quite a moment. Maybe you hit a big log or something. All right, we've just started gliding up into the wind, and I think we're going to go into an involuntary tack, but that's okay. All right, using the jib to pull us off the wind, sheeting it in tight quickly. Okay, need a bit of traveller in, because we were bearing off a bit there, which was slightly alarming. Okay, jib in tight again, and here we go. Okay, again, we're not going to go anywhere fast, but we are going to go somewhere. Now, what could we do with our trim, our fore and aft movements? Now, in theory, if I move backwards, everything exactly the same, the boat's gonna bear away. Yeah, and it is bearing away. So if I wanted her to come up towards the wind now, I'll just bring a bit more main sheet on. There we go, we can achieve a slightly higher speed there. Sheeting out again, getting back a bit more, because as we come back, the wind is catching more of the bow, turning the bow more downwind. All of this is really good to know for normal sailing anyway, by the way. So if your boat feels out of balance, you can try some of these things. There we go, and bringing a bit more main sheet in. Do we think we can use the trapeze? Okay, this is probably pretty silly, but let's give it a go. So we really want to get her to bear away a bit here first. Okay, I'm on the trapeze, as we can see, and if I get further back, sheet out a bit, let's get her to bear away. There we go, she's bearing away. This is pretty nuts. Yes, we're on the trapeze, no rudders, not exactly flying the hull. I think that would be a bit of a tall order. Okay, I'm going to come back in because it is much more difficult to keep it on the course that we want when we're trying to keep that much power on. All right, another tack. So bringing the Traveller in. And although we feel a bit powered, yes, we need to sheet in to get her into the wind. So sheeting in, just waiting for the jib to back, and then it's action time, up into the corner. Main sheet should be all the way off. Jib should be pulling the front of the boat round. So we're really using the jib to pull the front of the boat round. Come on, jib. All right, I'm gonna get to the back a bit as well. Just see if I can get that working. Battens are caught. I perhaps let the jib off a bit too soon. Come on, come on. All right, yes, she's going round. Oh, main sheet's just jammed a bit. I'll let the Traveller off a bit more as well. Okay, she's definitely turning now. And I need to get it in on the other side pretty quick. So I'm gonna take up the slack. There we go. That was some quick sheeting, I think you'll find. Oh, come on. All right, she's not having it. Let's get her off the wind a bit. Putting a bit more shape into the jib, take it off the wind. Hopefully, you'll never actually have to do this. But I think if you've got enough space, you've got a bit of wind, and you've got nothing better to do, then this is definitely worth a go. All right, so why isn't it working? I'm gonna let the Traveller off a bit more. There we go, Traveller was a bit too tight. Jib in tight, go on, love. Yes, okay, yes, we're off again. Okay, we've now got traffic. We're on starboard tack, so hopefully the traffic would realise that we're on starboard tack, just moving back a little bit. Why does it keep heading up into the wind now when it wasn't before? Just trying to get it to come back. Okay, this is tricky. All right, main is all the way out. If I get those battens to go at the bottom, maybe that's what was different. So I've popped the battens this time, and jib coming in on the correct side. Okay, yeah, I think having the battens popped the wrong way at the bottom, she did not like that. All right, we're getting a bit more power here. I'm feeling a little bit on the edge of control. The main sheet has done a full wrap. But we're definitely making progress upwind. Come on, right, sheeting the jib in a bit more. Try to get this wrap out of the main sheet. Okay, I have got a fix for that wrap, which I will show you in another video. I think I have done it already. In fact, I'll try to dig out that video so I can show you what that is to stop the main sheet from wrapping round. Oh, thought we were gonna get taken over there. But all right, less jib required. Now, yeah, we're into a bit more wind. More wind equals more jeopardy. Okay, so I've now got the main totally out and I'm just using the jib. Oh no, we're going up again. So I think that's because the battens on the main have gone. Let's see if I can get it to come back onto the tack that we wanted. Putting a load of shape into the jib there. And yeah, you can see it's turning. And ping it in. Okay, pinged. I just want to keep the battens on the right side on the mainsail, like that. Okay, let's get back a little bit, see if she'll bear off a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's quite alarming when she does start to bear off because it does feel like we are limited for options. All right, so let's just see what happens if, let's just see if we can, come on, that's it. Let's just see if we let the jib off a little bit, it'll put a bit more shape. Nah, definitely wants to be sheeted in tight. But we're definitely getting across the bay here. Nice. All right, so I think we've pretty much done enough here. I think what I've shown is it's not easy at all. Yeah. And I suppose the real test would be to see if we can get her all the way back to the beach. But sorry to say, for this video, I'm not going to do that because there's too much at risk. Like there's a load of yachts moored there, there's swimmers, there's a ferry, there are rocks, there's too much, we need control. So is it an accurate test? Yes, but if you had to do it, I think you could. You wouldn't get necessarily to exactly where you want to get to. She's kind of close reaching here quite nicely, albeit slowly. And it really does highlight, how sensitive the weight position is. If I sit here, she'll kind of stay on this course. If I just come forwards a little bit, yeah, she's coming up. So really do have to find the sweet spot of where to sit. So I'm kind of like, I'm concentrated about a foot forwards of the rear crossbar. All right, so to summarize here, what I've learned, jib cranked in tight, but hand on the jib sheet because it has taken us a couple of times. I've got the mainsail, so the battens are on the correct side, but it's only that middle part of the leech that's pulling. And then for small adjustments to the steering, I'm just coming forwards a bit to head up, back a little bit to bear away. Of course, we have got flat water. This is really helping. If we had waves, this would be significantly harder to do. Now, what we could try is, let's see what happens to our course if we ease the jib off a bit. So easing the jib there, looking at the course. So if we get it balanced, we could kind of use the jib as our steering as well. So sheeting in, because it feels a bit more active to have a rope to change our course. So if I sheet out, it feels like the boat wants to pick up speed, but oh, there we go, bit of a gust. She's turning up towards the wind, bit of a lull. Okay, and it's making the main flap a bit more, but it could be because there's more wind there. All right, this is pretty interesting and exciting. Again, I've got no downhaul on. Let's just be clear there. We did have downhaul on. The main would be slamming around like an absolute badger. All right, sheeting the jib out to head up a little bit. Ineffective. All right, but sitting in the right spot appears to be absolutely critical. So that we're gonna just keep in there. So let's take her off downwind. Now, I hope nobody thinks that this is cheating. The way we're gonna go downwind is backwards, because we are totally unable to get the boat to turn any further downwind. Like if I come even further back, sheet the jib in, well, best speed of the run, but even here, that bit of leech of the mainsail is preventing us from turning downwind. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come up to the front of the boat. She's actually turned head to wind there, which is pretty handy. And I'm just gonna stand on the bow. And there we go. We are hammering it downwind, top speed of the session. I'm gonna backwind the jib. I'm gonna try very hard not to fall off, because we are going pretty quick here. This is brilliant. I love sailing backwards because it is such an odd thing to do. Here we go. I might just crouch down a bit for a bit better stability. And there we go. Downwind, no rudders. Okay, so the one final test is when we've finished going downwind, we want to go upwind again. How is that going to work out? Got a bit of a gust there. Yeah, we've got some pace. Woohoo! Okay. I hate to say this, but this is probably as fast as some monohulls will ever go, and we're doing this backwards. Okay, I think that's far enough. Oh, there's a capsized tiger. I think they were distracted by our shenanigans. All right, so how am I going to get back on the boat? All right, this is going to take a bit of ballerina skills. So just coming back onto the boat, using the jib as something to hold on to. Coming back to the boat. There we are, back to the boat. And we're back where we were before. So to turn the boat off the wind, just pulling the jib a bit. Getting ready to do that kind of jib sheeting snatch kind of maneuver. Bit more wind now as well. So holding the jib round. And where is it? That's it. Get to the back. Fly null a little bit and go a bit more jib. Can we bear off? But I think you get the idea. All right, so there we go. Oh, and we're tacking without really wanting to. Just have to jaws the, oh dear. We're in a right old mess with the main sheet, the traveller, the tiller extension and everything. So I need to get this back into the right position. Oh, tiller extensions, got the jib sheet wrapped around. It's all happening here. All right. So we want to get that traveller out. Okay. And there we go. Sometimes the best way to get moving is to throw in a tack. So I think the most frightening thing would be if the boat just started bearing away, which, yeah, like there, which I'll just let the jib off, yeah, and she comes up a bit. Okay, so we just have to kind of get lucky a little bit to get the boat into that sweet spot. So there we go. I think we can say, yes, it can be done. Just upwind and downwind, really. Upwind takes a lot of finesse to get her to go where you want her to go. Downwind, go backwards, easy. Yeah, so thanks very much, and I'll see you soon with some more on Joyrider TV.